to me about Los Angeles is it has no history. It's a totally progressive place. If everyone who's traveled knows that every place has a sense of history, but this one seems to have the least. We're not tied by history, and it's a great place to leave every once in a while. But I think it's a working town. That's the thing that I like the best. There's almost an anonymity about being an artist here, which I like. It appeals to me. And then I prefer to show in other places, but work here. The climate's perfect for what I do. Real estate, when I was first looking for a studio, was relatively cheap. I don't know what it's like now.
Where was that very first place?
Downtown Los Angeles. I shared a studio with Chuck Arnaldi, actually, and I went to school down there at Chenard Art Institute, and then took a studio down there, and then moved to Venice in the early 70s, and I've been working in Venice ever since.
So you're very close to the water.
Yeah, close to the water. I grew up in Malibu, so it was. I've always been on the water. Yeah.
How do you think those elements of sand, water, light have affected your work?
It's the light elements, I think, that have affected my work the most. Early on, I had a particular interest in light and how light reflects, refracts, how it interacts with objects, and the coloration of light, and things like that. My father was a lens designer, and so there was an interest in refraction of light through his interests. So I always was particularly interested in the way the light refracted in an atmosphere, what I would call residual light, and made early pieces of sculpture that worked in twilight light, so that you had illuminated surfaces and you had a residual light that came from kind of an ambient light.
What would a luminous light be that you were working with?
Well, for instance, at twilight, you have a light where the focus of objects becomes kind of marginal. The light is only strong enough to allow illuminated objects to come into focus, and I started playing with that phenomenon.
So you illuminated the objects?
The objects that I illuminated became in focus. The objects that I did not illuminate, even though you could see them, were less in focus.
Is that a period when you started working with neon?
Yeah, neon and sand.
Should we let's show the neon. Were those